$14,339 for the low income. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now these are some very important numbers that I want you to understand because it directly relates to the low income and fixed income beneficiaries. I want to talk you through all the details and what this $14,339 actually means and how it may actually directly relate to low income and millions upon millions of fixed income beneficiaries. Let's get into it and discuss all the details. However, really quickly before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as I am your one and only daily advocate, and I'm very much dedicated to you and this community to continue doing all the research, breaking it all down, and bringing you the latest updates as this information is hitting the wire, as things are changing very, very rapidly right now, especially with all these announcements coming out of the administration, the president, Congress, lawmakers, and anything in regards to new bills, packages, proposals, reform to these very important programs, and anything in regards to money, benefits, programs, checks, stimulus, raises to benefits, and anything else you can possibly get your hands on right now. It's a busy time out there, but I'm here for you every single day in any way that I possibly can be. That's my dedication and my commitment to you and this community, and as always, I'm sticking to it. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and discuss what does this $14,339 actually mean for the low income and the fixed income, and of course, how do you get it? That's maybe possibly the most important portion of this question is, what do you do to get that money? Well, in many instances, nothing. So let me get through it and talk you through the details about what this number actually means and how it relates to everything going on right now. All right, so let's talk through the details on this because there's a lot of moving parts here. There's a lot of things that are updating right now, and I want to bring you all the details on this and how this is so incredibly impactful for the low income and, of course, like I said, fixed income beneficiaries. Now, when I talk about fixed income beneficiaries, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for any length of time, you know the whole list, right? I go through it in so many videos. Let me say it really quickly. Social Security retirement, SSDI, Social Security disability, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB. These are all the fixed income beneficiaries that I refer to when I talk about fixed income beneficiaries. So just keep that in mind. But again, if you've watched any other videos here on the channel, you probably heard me say that list about 1,000 times now, right? All right, so let's talk through the details on this. So this all comes down to the federal poverty line. Now, here's the thing. I want to tell you the details on this because here's the thing. There are some pieces of legislation out there right now in Congress where they do want to raise the minimum benefit up to the federal poverty line. Well, as of right now, as of this recording in 2022, which by the way, I'm recording this video in late-ish 2022, and the federal poverty line as of right now is $13,590 each and every year. However, let me tell you the details on this because this number actually adjusts higher each and every year. Now, let me put this into perspective. Last year in 2021, the federal poverty line was $12,880. It raised by $710 from $12,880 last year up to $13,590 this year, which was an increase of $710 to the federal poverty line. However, running the same calculations that we did from last year, 2021, until 2022, if we use that same calculation and increase percentage, if we use that once again, it comes out to a number of the federal poverty line being around that $14,339 throughout the course of the entire year for next year, 2023. Okay, so what does this mean going forward? Well, on a monthly basis, this would actually come out to $1,194 through the course of each and every month, which would bring you out to that $14,339 throughout the course of the entire year. So, what does this actually mean? Well, first off, like I said, there are many pieces of legislation out there. As we do know, there are many pieces of reform that are floating around Congress right now, right? They want to reform all these benefits. They want to raise benefits up to the federal poverty line. They want to remove the marriage penalty. They want to do all kinds of things to many of these programs out there. Like I've just mentioned, the fixed income benefits. Well, as a result of that, if they do it this year, if they raise the benefit this year up to the federal poverty line, for example, it's going to be a difference of about $62 per month or about $750 throughout the course of the entire year difference, whether they do it this year or if they were to do it next year in 2023. So would you rather have an extra $62 next year or would you rather have the money now this year? Kind of makes sense. So that's reason number one. But another thing that we need to take into consideration as well is that this number, as in the federal poverty line, is the number that pegs a lot of the eligibility requirements for many of these other programs that many people who are low income or fixed income are also receiving, including housing assistance, utility assistance, food assistance, internet assistance, or free internet from the ACP, Affordability Connectivity Program, as well as water assistance, and all of these other programs that are out there right now. A lot of it is pegged off of the federal poverty line. So they look at your current situation and they say, hey, what is your income and how does it relate to the federal poverty line? If you're below the federal poverty line, well, you get a lot more benefits from all these other programs. If you're at or above the federal poverty line, well, then they start looking at these different metrics based around income related to the federal poverty line. For example, a lot of these programs will say something along the lines of, recipients can get benefits from this program if their income is 125% of the federal poverty line or less, or maybe it's 200% of the federal poverty line or less, or it's household income of 150% of the federal poverty line or less. It's all kinds of different parameters. Depending on the program that we're talking about, it's different income parameters about it. Well, as a result of that, you can quickly see how, okay, just because of the federal poverty line increasing a little bit higher by roughly $750 next year in 2023 may actually increase the eligibility for more people, or it may avoid some people actually falling off and losing benefits because their income has been bumped up just a little bit more beyond the threshold. So the increase to the federal poverty line is actually a very important point, and it is something that's very important to continue on watching, because as this continues to increase each and every year, it just means that maybe more people are becoming eligible for benefits, and or less people are losing eligibility to benefits because of that number increasing a little bit each and every year. So this is something we'll need to watch very closely, because regardless of what this number adjusts to, and again, it could be 14,339, as I suggested, but again, that was based on some assumptions that they increased the federal poverty line yet again based on the same calculation that they did from 2021 until 2022. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less, but either way, we do know for a fact it will go up yet again, because here's the thing, the cost of living in 2022 has increased significantly. We can all attribute that to inflation. Yes, thank you very much, inflation. It's because of that the cost of living has increased in a very substantial way, right? So anyway, when it comes down to it, and we have to watch all these other pieces of reform that are floating around Congress as well, because any one of these, if passed, could actually raise benefits up to the federal poverty line. Now again, all of these pieces of legislation that are out there right now do not necessarily include adjusting benefits up to the federal poverty line, but a lot of these proposals actually do, and it could be a pretty substantial thing, because all of a sudden that would boost the incomes for millions upon millions of people to the federal poverty line. Kind of makes sense? Anyway, it's a very important metric that we need to watch, and it's a very important baseline number that we need to watch as well, because ultimately, at the end of the day, even if Congress does absolutely nothing, it still pegs the eligibility for many people to get benefits and at what capacity they can actually get those benefits from many of these other assistance type programs. Kind of makes sense? Yeah, a lot of moving parts. I know, right? Anyway, of course, I'll continue watching this very closely as I do get more details on the federal poverty line, benefits, reform to anything, as well as money, programs, benefits, raises to benefits, or any other piece of legislation going through Congress right now. Of course, I'll keep you posted with everything going on so you can stay updated and you can understand how this is going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, your future. It's all very important, right? Anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Please remember, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. That's my dedication. I'm sticking to it, and I will continue to stick to that for a very long time. So again, thanks so much. Enjoy your day. Until next time, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.